Hey friends, welcome back to my page. Today is Sunday and we decided that we were going to revisit the Shawshank Redemption movie tour in Mansfield, Ohio at the Ohio State Reformatory, also known as Mansfield Haunted Prison. They do the blood prison here on Halloween, and you can also spend the night and ghost hunt here. But they also did the Shawshank Redemption movie here with some other movies such as Tango and Cash, and there were several others. You may want to Google that to check that out. Also Google and check out the history of this prison. This is another iconic area other than just the movies being filmed here. It was closed down due for various different reasons. One of the condition of the prison and some of the things that went on in the prison. But this is known for like its haunts and its ghosts, which I think we did catch some things on our tour. But this is us pulling in with our best friends, Joe and Missy ahead of us, and I have my best friend Becky. I didn't get to finish the tour last time. Catch the video as to why. I basically just a disagreement with one of the workers, and they just told me to come back another day. So we'll leave it at that. But I was able to come back and enjoy the Shawshank Redemption movie tour at its entirety. And yes, I was able to finish this. So we did get the pond where Andy supposedly came out of his prison cell to escape. This is the pond. And that police car was just one accent that I think that they're getting ready for Halloween. Check the next reel. Hey friends, welcome to part 2 of our Shawshank Redemption movie set tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison. Because after all, it's been known to be haunted. And a lot of movies were filmed here, Tango and Cash, and Google the other movies that were here, but I'm more familiar with Tango and Cash, but my most favorite is the Shawshank Redemption movie. They also do ghost hunts here, and they also do blood prison and Christmas incarnation, so Google that if you're interested. This is in Mansfield, Ohio. It's aka Ohio State Reformatory, but known as the Mansfield Haunted Prison. They closed down in the 90s for various different reasons, but here we are in the beginning of our movie tour. I did showcase this when we first went a few weeks ago, but I was unable to finish the tour, so we came back and started from the beginning. So I thought, why not just redo the beginning, get a better movie set view. This is some of the movie set stuff, and also it gives you the history of the prison in the beginning before we get into the nitty-gritty with the actual movie set props and where things were filmed. So here's just some stuff that they have throughout the prison, talking about the different like the building of the prison and the closing of the prison and the history of the prison. And the next reel, catch that one, that'll start be part of the Shawshank Redemption. There's a electric chair there, although they never used it. Hey friends, welcome back to part 3 of the Shawshank Redemption movie set tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison in Mansfield, Ohio. This is the movie tour for Shawshank Redemption, my favorite movie, and also doing some ghost hunting because we do go down into the cell blocks and we did see and hear some stuff, but catch those reels. This is just the history of the prison, when it was built, why it was closed, and just some other things that they had within the prison that really didn't have much to do with the movie set tour. But as we moved about from room to room, we eventually get into the movie set tour. So this is just an old radio. We actually went into the warden's room, but before we did that, this is the old barber shop. Just some of the things that they had when the prison had opened. It talks about when it opened, who built it, and all the kind of boring stuff. Here's some of the shanks that were in this prison that they had showcased. Just some other items that were part of the prison, and then it gives the history throughout the remaining of the prison as to when it was built, how it was built, who built it, and why it closed up. So catch those reels. It's pretty interesting to learn about the history of the prison. But this prison also is known for its ghost hunting. You can spend the night here and just use any of your spirit boxes, do video and pictures. They allow that. And here is getting into some of the movie set tour here for Shawshank Redemption. Catch the other reels on the remaining. Hey friends, welcome back to part 4 of the Shawshank Redemption movie set tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison in Mansfield, Ohio, aka Ohio State Reformatory. We are not only doing a movie tour, but we're also going to be doing some ghost hunting when we get down into the cell blocks. This is a continuation of the movie set tour upstairs. The nitty gritty is more down towards the cell block where they have more of the movie props. These are just pictures and information about how they got started with the movie, how the director and actors and things came together to create this movie. There's Andy. They were on set. They even had the director's chair, but that's further into the video. There's Andy's cutout. We are actually in the warden's room. This is some letters and things on the documentation of like the movie and different things that you can read. Very interesting to learn how they created this movie. There was actually a TV with a interview of each of the stars that were in the movie and what their roles were and how they became the character that they were in the Shawshank Redemption movie. Here's some of the movie props, and more of the pictures are upstairs before you get down into the cell blocks where the actual movie props are. They do have a tour bus that can take you to the Shawshank Redemption tour on the exterior part. This is the warden's. Hey friends, welcome back to part 5 of the Shawshank Redemption movie tour. There's going to be several parts because there's so much to see and do in the Mansfield haunted prison, aka Ohio State Reformatory. And this is also a ghost hunting tour. So follow the reels on that when we get down into the cell blocks, because we do see and hear stuff. This prison closed down in the 90s. Google the information on that. There's a lot of history with this prison on when it was built and why it closed. It was closed for various different reasons, but we are continuing on for our Shawshank Redemption tour. My best friend Joe there thinks he's the warden, and he's trying to pretend to be a ghost, although he did freak my friend Becky out because she walked in and actually thought there was a ghost standing there. And so my friend Missy came and got me and told me that the warden was there. So I thought maybe the warden that was in the movie was visiting there, and I hurried and rushed in. It was just Joe. There are some photos, mainly in the upstairs exterior part, and each of these rooms are more about the movie itself with the producers, how it became about, and how it was created. Also, you see pictures of different movie sets and different items that were in the movies. We don't get down to the actual props of the movies until we get down to the cell blocks. We see a lot of cutouts. There are a few things such as the lunch tray that they use and some. Hey friends, welcome to part 6 Shawshank Redemption tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison, Mansfield, Ohio. This is the movie set tour. This is a continuation not only for the movie set tour, but our ghost hunting as well. Catch the reels when we hit the cell blocks. We are continuing with the Shawshank Redemption tour in the upper part of the prison. This is the library. What we are seeing is a lot of like pictures from the movie, letters, smaller items that were in the movie set, like Andy's box that he left for Red to find under the tree, the lunch things, and just posters, pictures, and just how the movie became about. Now we are moving about through the rest of the remaining of the prison, not only just the prison itself, but some of the rooms that they did use in the movie, and some of the rooms they didn't. This is just all part of the tour. We were allowed to tour the entire prison, including the yard of the prison. This is the chair just sitting in the middle of the floor. Not really quite sure why, but my friend sat in it and we wanted to see if anything happened. We did hear some creaks and noises. It wasn't very busy, but we didn't really see or hear anything till we actually went down into the cell blocks, but this was creepy. I don't think I saw many orbs in the upper part. However, I did when we got down into the cell blocks, and we did hear a distinctive noise. We are heading into each different rooms, and we ended up going into Hey friends, welcome back to my page, part 7 of the Shawshank Redemption tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison in Mansfield, Ohio. This is the movie set tour of the Shawshank Redemption. We are in Brooks's room and Red's. So you will see a sign that says Brooke was here and so was Red. There's Brooks. This is the room that they filmed when they were supposedly in that hotel, staying when they got released from prison. And this was used in the movie. We are continuing continue on with the upper part of the prison, but we are getting ready to head down to the cell blocks, so make sure you catch the reels when we actually get down to the cell blocks. We do hear and see stuff. I'll try not to do a voiceover on those ones, but we are continuing on with the remaining of the prison. We visited the chapel. This is the chapel upstairs, and some other parts of the prison like the hospital area, the library, and other parts that we continue on. So after this part's when we hit the cell blocks, but that was the more, this is more history and other parts of where the film was and pictures and about the film and how it became about and how it was created. But the nitty gritty of the props and everything were down more in the cell block area, so catch those reels. Hey friends, welcome back to part 8 of our Shawshank Redemption tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison, aka Ohio State Reformatory, or Mansfield, Ohio. We're doing some ghost hunting now. We're still doing the Shawshank Redemption movie tour, but they allow you to tour the cell blocks as well and do a little bit of ghost hunting. We were actually up until this couple here. We were by ourselves after that. I don't know where they disappeared to, but they were only there for a second, and we continued on with our tour and didn't see them the rest of the time, so we were pretty much by ourselves. So here's us at the beginning of the cell blocks at the top. I'm not going to do a voiceover on the remaining cell block tours when we get to the bottom, because that's where we were seeing and hearing stuff. There looks like some feet prints there. I don't know if you can tell. Use your judgment. By no means am I claiming anything. I'm just speculating, and I'm just telling you what my experience was on this whole ghost hunt tour in the Mansfield Haunted Prison. They do a lot of tours here, and Shawshank Redemption was filmed here, so is Tangled and Cash and a few other movies as well. Google the history of this prison and why it closed. This is why it's haunted, at least speculated. But use your judgment. And if you're ever in Mansfield, Ohio, check it out, because this is one of the most known prisons for its haunts and ghost hunts, and you're allowed to spend the night here. Catch the next reels on the other cell block. Hi friends, welcome to part 9 of the Shawshank Redemption movie tour. There's a lot of parts because there was so much to see and do at the Ohio State Reformatory, aka Mansfield Haunted Prison. We are now doing the cell blocks, so this is our now ghost hunting tour. So we made it down to the cell blocks, but we did have to climb a few steps to get to the library part, and then we ended up visiting the hospital part. This is the library part, and then the next section we go into like the hospital part. I think it was like more of the mental hospital, and we're going into old bathrooms, old showers. But I have several videos on the cell block area, and the one that I want to showcase is the one that we actually seen some stuff and actually heard stuff. But it's fun to go through each of these cell blocks. They're kind of gross. This is the old prison that was shut down in the 90s. Catch the real and information as to why. You can also Google it as well. This is in Mansfield, Ohio. This is also the Shawshank Redemption movie tour. So we are still continuing with the movie set tours. We haven't got down to the bigger props until we continue down further into the cell blocks. But these are the remaining parts of what's left of the prison. And they allowed us to tour the whole entire prison, even though we were also doing the Shawshank Redemption movie tour. We just visited the chapel, and now we're doing the library. Hi friends, welcome to part 10 of the Shawshank Redemption movie tour in Mansfield Haunted Prison in Mansfield, Ohio. This is the Shawshank Redemption movie tour. We are near the end of the movie tour. We do see a lot more props and more of the bigger props, but we're going through each of the cell blocks, and it's pretty creepy down here. We were actually by ourselves on this tour because we arrived pretty early and it was on a Sunday, so there really wasn't a lot of people here, and we were trying to go in each individual cells as much as possible and see if there's any creeping factor in there and if we felt anything. We definitely felt a lot of our energy drained and also our breathing a little bit shallow, and we're trying to do a spirit box down here. That's Andy crawling out of the tunnel. This is the tunnel that they used in the movie where he was crawling out to escape the prison. There's some of the pictures and some of the other movie props. It described what they put in the tunnel. They were using chocolate syrup and like Oreo cookies to make it look like mud, and some sawdust. So it's pretty cool. This is the yard. We didn't really go outside the yard because a lot of the buildings were taken down, so they didn't allow you to really tour out there, just to walk out just for a few minutes. This is the remaining of the other cell blocks. As we were touring through the cell blocks, we were seeing and hearing different things, but this is just our observation. Oh, for God's sakes. See the light flickering? Yeah. Oh my God, if you played that and the light started to flicker. You should play that again to see if the lights flicker again. Oh, filming of Shawshank Redemption in this area. We didn't like something. Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah. It's so nice day. We can go to Mansfield. No, let's go upstairs.
Hey friends, welcome back to part 12 and the last video of the Shawshank Redemption movie set tour in Mansfield, Ohio at the Mansfield Haunted Prison, aka Ohio State Reformatory. We were ghost hunting down in the basement area of the cell blocks. We did just see the movie props. We peeked outside in the yard a little bit, and now we're continuing on through all the different sides of the cell blocks. There were so many cell blocks, but we were going in and we were shutting the door to see if we felt or seen anything creepy. We actually passed Lil Wayne's cell that he used in one of his videos, and it says Lil Wayne on the outside of the cell block you saw in the beginning of this video. And now we are headed out because we had completely finished our tour, and we are doing other things the rest of the day. But we stopped in at the gift shop and got